Hello, this is Sarb Lally from the British Columbia Teachers Federation, and I'm coming to you from the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. And today I'm going to present to you a seminar on how the Canada Pension Plan works. So without further ado, I will share my screen and start with the presentation. Great, I hope you can see my screen. So how does the Canada Pension Plan work? Well, the reason I'm bringing you this presentation is because I've heard from many members that they don't know a lot about how the pension plan works, the Canada Pension Plan. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring this presentation to you. As you can see, now is fall 2023. Specifically, it's October 27, 2023 today, so this information is current to today's date. So let's take a look at the historical purpose of the Canada Pension Plan. So initially, old age security was introduced in 1952 for Canadians 70 years of age and older who had lived in Canada for at least 20 years, but its maximum pension was insufficient and left too many people out. For instance, the maximum OAS was $40 per month back in 1952 and $55 per month in 1962. So it only increased by $10 per month. And newer Canadians were left out due to the 20-year residency requirement. Given that Canada is a country built on immigration, that was leaving a lot of Canadians out. So what happened? In the early 1960s, public support grew for a universal employment-based lifetime pension plan that would be portable from job to job to improve the standard of living for people in retirement. Out of that grew the Canadian Pension Plan, which was designed to provide a pension equal to 25% of people's average earnings over a 40-year working career at age 65. So the Canada Pension Plan and the Teachers Pension Plan have a significant relationship. So back in 1966, the CPP was introduced to the public, and right from when it was introduced, from 1966 to 2017, the Canada Pension Plan and the Teachers Pension Plan were integrated. So the Teachers Pension Plan provided a bridge benefit for anyone who retired before age 65 until age 65 to cover them off until they were eligible to receive their Canada Pension Plan. And then after age 65, the Teachers Pension Plan would provide a reduced lifetime pension. The bridge benefit would be gone. So what used to happen prior to 2018 was that for all of your service up to that point in time, you received in the Teachers Pension Plan a 1.3% accrual rate on your highest average salary up to the year's maximum pensionable earnings, the YMPE, which is the average industrial wage in Canada set by the CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, every year. And above the HAS, or the highest average salary, your pension would be calculated based on a 2% accrual rate. So the majority of a teacher's pension for service up to the end of 2017 is actually based on the 1.3% accrual rate, as the majority of your highest average salary goes up to the YMPE, and then you earn a slightly greater amount above the YMPE. So what happened is that the CPP, which replaces your bridge benefit at age 65, was increasingly viewed over the years as not providing enough financial stability to members. So in 2018, the Canada Pension Plan and the Teachers Pension Plan integration ended for service from January 1, 2018 onwards. So there's no bridge benefit available on your post-2017 service, and your lifetime teacher's pension is going to be higher from your retirement date, because post-2017, your service is calculated with the 1.9% accrual rate, which is much higher than that combination of 1.3 and 2%, which was available prior to 2018. That's definitely a benefit for teachers who are currently working, and especially those teachers who started working in the profession after 2018, as all of your service will be delinked from the Canada Pension Plan. So the Canada Pension Plan since then has made improvements. Starting in 2019, employer and employee contribution levels increased gradually from 4.95% to 5.95% each. And the benefit rate will also increase from 25% to 33% of the average work earnings, and the maximum limit of earnings will increase by 14% because there will be a YAMPE added to the YMPE. And so the YAMPE stands for years additional maximum pensionable earnings. The full implementation of these improvements will take 40 years. So from 2024 to 2064, gradually pensions are going to increase up to the time in 2064 where your CPP will replace 33% of your earnings up to the YAMPE, which is a higher ceiling than the YMPE. So let's talk about who contributes to the CPP. Who does this matter to? Well, it matters to all employees between ages 18 and 65. It's optional for employees between ages 65 and 70. And how much do you contribute? Well, the basic earnings exemption is $3,500. So if you earn $3,500 or less, you don't contribute to the Canada Pension Plan. For anyone who earns more than that, employers and employees each contribute 5.95% of the employee's earnings above that $3,500 floor up to the yearly maximum pensionable earnings, YMPE, which in 2023 is currently $66,600. Starting next year on January 1, 2024, employers and employees will each contribute 4% of the employee's earnings above the YMPE up to the year's additional maximum pensionable earnings, the YAMPE. And the YAMPE will be 7% above the YMPE in 2024, then 14% above the YMPE in successive years. And as I mentioned earlier, the YMPE and now the YAMPE is set by Canada Revenue Agency each year based on the average industrial wage in Canada. You contribute to the CPP on each paycheck until your annual earnings reach the YMPE. After that, your contributions cease until the next calendar year starts. But in 2024, you will also contribute on your earnings up to the YAMPE. And then your contributions will stop until the next calendar year starts. So let's take a look at what contributions typically look like. Let's look at this year, 2023. So with a YMPE of $66,600 and a contribution rate of 5.95%, less the $3,500 floor, you would multiply your earnings times 5.95%, and that would give you a maximum contribution of $3,754 this year to the Canada Pension Plan. In 2024, you'll have contributions up to the YMPE, and then you'll have contributions up to the YAMPE. As you can see, we're estimating today what the YMPE is going to be in 2024, because as of today's date, we do not know what the 2024 YMPE is going to be. but we're guessing that it'll be around $68,600. So if we take that figure and we use the 5.95% contribution rate, you'll see that we're going to estimate your contributions to the CPP to be $3,873. Then we're going to add to that your contributions that are up to the YAMPE, which at 7% higher than $68,600 will work out to $73,400. Your contribution rate on the difference between $73,400 and $68,600 is 4%. And that gives us an additional $192 that you'll contribute in 2024 to the Canada Pension Plan. In 2025, the YAMPE goes up to being 14% greater than the YMPE. So we're going to estimate again the YMPE to go up to $70,700 in 2025, and less the $3,500 floor multiplied by 5.95%, that gives us contributions of $3,998 up to the YMPE. Then the YAMPE will be 14% higher than the YMPE, so we estimate that to be $80,600. Take the difference between that and the YMPE, multiply it by 4%, and that gives you additional contributions of about $396. So in 2025, you can expect to put in about $4,400 into the CPP. Okay, and for those contributions, what does the CPP potentially provide you? Well, number one, it can provide you a retirement pension. If you take your retirement pension before age 65 and then continue working up to age 70, you can also be eligible for a post-retirement benefit. If you're disabled from your employment, you could potentially receive CPP disability benefits. Upon your death, your surviving spouse will receive a death benefit. There's also a survivor's benefit that's available to your surviving spouse. Now, how is the CPP retirement pension calculated? Okay, this can get fairly complex, so please listen closely. CPP will automatically drop out 17% of your lowest earning years from the calculation. So, when you're first starting out in your career and you may not be working full time, you may be TOCing, and you're not earning anywhere close to the YMPE, well, those would likely be your lowest earning years. And the CPP will automatically drop out 17% of your lowest earning years between the ages of 18 and 65 from the calculation. It will also drop out any year when you were the primary caregiver raising children under the age of 7, because in those years, you were likely not working and not paying into the CPP. So those years will be dropped out. When you apply for your Canada pension, there is a space on the application to indicate those child rearing dates so that they can drop them out of the calculation. Similarly, it will drop out any year when you receive the CPP disability pension. Now, if you're on long-term disability and you have an illness that is severe and prolonged, you should apply for the CPP disability pension. It can be made retroactive up to 12 months before you applied. And having those years of zero income removed from the calculation of your average pensionable earnings for the CPP can make a big difference to your CPP retirement pension at age 65, especially if you're on long-term disability for a number of years before you actually retire. And Service Canada then takes all that information and they calculate your pension based on the remaining years and earnings. And that's how you receive your CPP pension. Now, how much can you expect to receive from your retirement pension? Well, the amount of CPP pension depends on the age at which you decide to start your pension, because you can start it as early as age 60 and as late as age 70. For how much and for how long you have contributed to the CPP, and your average earnings throughout your working life. So let's take a look at some monthly amounts that new recipients receive. The average monthly amount for new recipients at age 65 in April 2023 was $760.07, and the maximum monthly amount for new recipients at age 65 in 2023 is $1,306.57. So as a teacher, you'll likely fall somewhere in between those two numbers. Usually at the higher end, if you've worked full-time right up until age 65. Now, should I collect my retirement pension early, or should I wait and collect it late? Well, if you start collecting your CPP pension before age 65, your payments will decrease by 0.6% each month, up to a maximum reduction of 36% if you start at age 60. And that lower pension will be paid to you for the rest of your life. If you wait until after age 65, your payments will increase by 0.7 cents each month, up to a maximum increase of 42% if you start collecting at age 70. Now, some factors to consider in deciding when to take your pension would include your health, your financial situation, what plans you have for retirement. For example, are you going to TTOC, get another job? Do you have another career to go to? Putting things off with respect to collecting your pension, your CPP pension, makes sense if you think you'll collect long enough to make up for what could turn out to be years of foregone payments. You also may want to think about what could you earn by investing CPP dollars taken early, and how will your tax rate change over time? Do you need the money? Do you have alternative sources of money like rental income or investment income? Will you lose part of your OAS, your old age security, because your income will be too high if you take your CPP early? If you're, still working. Remember also that you have a bridge benefit to age 65. After age 65, your bridge benefit disappears. So all of those are important factors to consider as to whether or not you're going to take your pension early or take your CPP pension late. Unfortunately for you, I cannot provide you with any advice on when to take your CPP pension. I'm not a certified financial planner. I would recommend that you seek the advice of a certified financial planner in order to help you make that decision. And definitely discuss it with your loved ones, your family. Okay, the next benefit that's available from the Canada Pension Plan is your post-retirement benefit. So this benefit is available if you keep making contributions while receiving your CPP retirement pension and you're under the age of 70. Each year that you contribute to the CPP will result in an additional post-retirement benefit that once you finally retire, that will then be added onto your regular CPP pension. The CPP disability benefit is also available. So if you're on medical leave from your employment due to a disability that Service Canada considers severe and long-term, you are eligible to receive the CPP disability benefit when applying. In 2023, The monthly payments range between $558.74 and $1,538.67, depending on your CPP contributions. Now, upon reaching age 65, your CPP disability benefits will be replaced by CPP retirement benefits, and you don't need to make an application. It's done automatically by Service Canada. Of note, your CPP disability benefit is integrated with BCTF's long-term disability plan. So what this means is that after receiving LTD benefits for 12 months, a member may be required by Canada Life, which is the administrator of the long-term disability benefit for the BCTF salary indemnity plan. You may be required by Canada Life to apply for CPP disability benefits or appeal a decision denying CPP disability benefits. And why do we do this in the salary indemnity plan? Well, when a member receives a CPP disability benefit, the basic amount of the benefit is deducted from their long-term disability benefit. So that helps the salary indemnity plan by lowering the amount SIP pays in LTD benefits, but it helps you, the member, in the long run by increasing your Canada pension at age 65 by removing the disability years from the calculation of your average annual earnings. And if you're eligible for an unreduced pension before age 65, your LTD benefits will end, and you'll be asked to apply for your teacher's pension. At that time, you'll start collecting your teacher's pension and continue to receive the CPP disability benefit to age 65. So remember, with your teacher's pension, you receive a bridge benefit to age 65. Having the CPP disability benefit added on top of that is like having an extra bridge benefit provided to you. There's also a CPP disability children's benefit. So if you are receiving the CPP disability benefit, your children will receive a monthly benefit from Service Canada. In 2023, each child receives $281.72 per month, which is directly paid to their primary caregiver. Children between the ages of 18 and 25 who are enrolled in school may receive that payment directly into their bank accounts. And important to note, if you're on long-term disability, the children's disability benefit is not deducted from your LTD benefits. So only your basic benefit from CPP disability is deducted from your LTD benefits. But any benefit that you receive for your children is not deducted from your LTD benefits. Okay, also available from CPP is the death benefit. The death benefit is a one-time payment of $2,500, which may be made to the estate of the deceased contributor. If no estate exists, the payment may be made to other persons who apply for the benefit in the following order of priority. The person or institution that is paid for or that is responsible for paying for the funeral expenses of the deceased, the surviving spouse or common law partner of the deceased, or the next of kin of the deceased. Now, I have no idea why the death benefit is at $2,500, because this has not changed since 1998. Before it changed in 1998, the death benefit was paid up to 6 months after someone's death, up to a maximum of $3,580. In 1998, it went down to a lump sum maximum of $2,500 and has remained there ever since, being eroded every year by inflation. Now, something that is also available is the survivor's pension. and that's available to a legally married or common law spouse of a deceased CPP contributor, and they'll receive that upon application. If they're not receiving other CPP benefits, the survivor will receive 60% of the contributor's retirement pension if they're age 65 or older, a flat rate portion, and 37.5% of the contributor's retirement pension if they are under age 65. Now, if they are receiving other CPP benefits, the combined benefits may not exceed the maximum retirement or disability pension. Okay, so you can't collect two pensions from CPP that would give you more than what the maximum CPP pension for one member is. Now, the good thing about CPP benefits, other than the death benefit, are that they're linked to inflation. So they're indexed. So as inflation goes up, those CPP payments go up. The retirement benefit goes up, the post-retirement benefit goes up, the children's disability benefit goes up, the survivor's benefit goes up as inflation goes up. And in these last few years of high inflation, that's been very important to people receiving those benefits. The rates are increased every year using the Canadian Consumer Price Index. For example, in January of 2023, CPP payments increased by 6.5% because of the inflation rate. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Service Canada. Their phone number is listed on the screen in front of you. Also, their website is there as well. Did you know that you can go on to Service Canada's website and register and sign in and look at what your potential CPP pension would be in retirement? That's always a good idea to do that, to see where you stand based on your contributions to the Canada Pension Plan so far. And you can also get advice about the Canada Pension Plan or your BCTF pension from Sarb Lally. That's me at the BC Teachers Federation. There's my email and phone number information there as well. On the BCTF website, you can access pension-related content at that link below. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation and have a great day. Bye-bye.